Good morning. I'm humbled to have been asked to speak on behalf of this year's Stewardship campaign by sharing with you how St. Paul's has helped me deepen the roots of my faith. So here's my story. Early in 2018, my husband, Joe Werlinick, and I came to St. Paul's. For me, it was a return. I'd been part of this congregation in the 80s. In August that year, 2018, Joe died, and I was shattered. About a month after Joe's passing, I came to see our rector. I told him that I'd come that day because I felt as though I were drowning in my grief, and I wondered if God had a plan for me. And I think Noah could see that day that I was hanging on by a mere thread. We spoke for a long time about my circumstances, and finally he began to outline for me the many things that happen here at St. Paul's that I might be interested in experiencing. His final advice to me was, just start coming to everything and you'll figure it out. Well, I took his advice and I have figured it out. I've grown roots here. The next Sunday, I returned to church for the first time, and I sat on the left, not quite halfway back. There were 3 lovely women sitting behind me, and one of them tapped me on the shoulder and whispered, "Come sit with us." I whispered back, "Thank you, I will next week." The next week came. I sat in the same place, and the same 3 women were behind me, and the same one tapped me again and whispered, "Come sit with us." I whispered back, "I will next time." Then she whispered back, "No, now, come sit with us now." So I moved, and I've been sitting with those 3 sweet gals ever since. Over the next 5 years, many others have joined us. Everyone is welcome. However, we're mostly single women of a certain age. Some Sundays, there are just a couple of us. Other Sundays, we fill a whole pew and spill over into a second one. Most of us live alone, and the point is that it feels wonderful to arrive at church and look forward to worshiping with faith-filled friends. And from that very pew, I began to send down shoots that became my roots at St. Paul's. The next thing I ventured out to do was to come to a chili supper hosted by CLASP, Church Ladies at St. Paul's. CLASP is a group that just gets together from time to time and does things, and all the women of St. Paul's are part of CLASP. At that supper, I met someone who said, "Do you like to read? You should come to the book club." So I did. The book club meets once a month, and everyone is welcome. And from the book club, I sent down another shoot that became part of my roots. At book club, I met someone who said, "You might like Claudia Circle." Claudia Circle meets once each month for refreshments, fellowship, and a terrific program. But it also sponsors a robust outreach effort by raising funds at its annual sale. Being part of Claudia Circle helps deepen the roots of my faith as I work with other women to support the endeavors of organizations that are helping our neighbors in critical and important ways. At some point, I came to St. Paul's 101. Not only did I learn more about our faith and see all the nooks and crannies of the church, I made several more enduring friendships there. On the first Wednesday of 2019, I came to the rector's noontime weekly Bible study for the first time. Reading and studying scripture with a group from St. Paul's has given me a greater understanding of the scriptural underpinnings of our faith and provided nourishment for my roots here. And so it's gone on. In each group, it was hard for me to tell who was new like I was, who'd been here a while, or even a very long while, because everyone was simply welcomed. I kept showing up for things, and I began to volunteer to help where help seemed to be needed. And if we fast forward to today, I've had the privilege, over a brief 5 years, of being called to do many big and small things at St. Paul's and in our diocese. The roots of my faith here are deep, and they are flourishing. So, what is the value of having faith-filled friends to turn to? of having meaningful work in which to use my time and my talents, of having opportunities to learn new things and continue to deepen my own faith formation, of participating with others in the interest of more deeply loving and serving my neighbor, and of coming together with all of you each week to sit at the Lord's table. It's priceless. That is why I have pledged in this year's stewardship campaign, and I've increased my pledge a bit this year as well. And it's why I urge you to do as much as you are able, both in stewardship and in participation, to nourish or deepen the roots of your own faith and experience, as I have, God's grace at St. Paul's. Thank you.